I think my most memorable Valentine's Day is in 1979, which is about 40 years ago. Not specifically Valentine's Day, but pretty close to Valentine's Day. My husband and I, who was just my boyfriend at the time, decided that we were going to get married. It was going to be a very quick thing. We were not going to make a big deal out of it. There were a lot of things going on in our personal lives that we just didn't want the interference of a big wedding or anything like that. We had both done that previously. So enough of that fun stuff. So I called our pastor, and actually this was the pastor who was at the church for the majority of the years of my growing up years back home, which was about four hours away. And I called him and I said, if Dennis and I come over one night next week, can you marry us in your home? And he said that he could, but it couldn't be Wednesday because Wednesday night was church. And so how about Thursday? And I said, Thursday works just fine. Wasn't even aware of the fact that it was Valentine's Day. We were so busy with everything that was going on in our lives and thinking about getting married. And it was like I said, it was a very rushed decision. It was kind of okay, let's get married. Okay, let's not make a big deal out of this. Okay. We didn't even have rings. But so it was February the 15th, not the 14th, because the 14th was Valentine's Day, but it was a Wednesday. And the preacher had to be at church. But we have not so much celebrated Valentine's Day as much as we've just celebrated another year of loving each other. And we're coming up on 40 years in just a matter of weeks. We're very excited.
Patricia, my sweetest Valentine memory is actually from 50 years ago this month when I attended a Valentine's dance at my high school. And I noticed this guy standing across the room, tall, dark, and handsome guy. And I remembered that we had dated about 1 year before then. That was the junior prom. And he had taken me to the junior prom, and I really didn't want to go with him. He's so quiet and, just retiring kind of a guy. But I went because it was my birthday, and I was determined to go to the junior prom on my birthday. I was not going to sit home, but we didn't click and we didn't date for like the next year. But as I looked at him that evening across the dance floor, I thought, he really is pretty cute. And so we danced, he caught my glance, and we danced, and we've been dancing ever since then, although he kind of has two left feet. But we dated throughout college, Craig and I, and then after I graduated from college, we got married, and we've been married for over 45 years now. We have 4 great kids. It hasn't always been easy. There are a lot of changes that you go through between the time that you're in high school. You go to college, you change your major in your mind several different times about what you want to do with your life. You get married and you start having kids, and there are always some kind of issues going on with kids and with finances and with a house and so forth. And he was in the military for 4 years as well. So we have quite a history together. And in fact, we are going to our 50th high school reunion this fall, and going to see a bunch of classmates and just have another dance together and, celebrate the fact that we are one of the few of the high school romances that stuck together. And another funny part of that story, I thought I was marrying a lawyer. He went on to law school at UCLA, and then the guy in his 30s decided he wanted to go into ranching. So my lawyer turned into a rancher. I, as a journalist, turned into a high school educator. So there are many, many changes that you go through in your marriage. But I think if you can keep the romance alive, if you keep alive the memories, the good times that you have together, you can certainly build history together, and as you're walking God's path for your life. So that's my little Valentine story, and happy Valentine's to everyone out there.